feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're my previous subscribers, welcome back. So for today's video today, we're going to be focusing on the question, President 47, is it Trump? Is it going to be Trump? Because recently I have many visions in the past where I have seen outcomes where we have, here we go again. If you remember my election night dream video where I had it about like a few years ago, I made a video on it in 2020 where it had election night, here we go again. Basically the Republicans win Ohio, North Carolina, Florida, and potentially Iowa. Kind of within the same margin, very close to the margin in 2020, but I knew it wasn't the right election, maybe potentially with 2024. And so we're going to explore that. We're going to talk about how in my past reading about a year ago, I've spoken about how Donald Trump had a very strong possibility of becoming president of the United States again. I apologize for my stutter. And simultaneously, at the same exact time, I've also seen many outcomes where he is president again. Now, I have seen in that particular video, I have said, and I'll put the link in the description below to that video, I have said that Donald Trump, the only way he will become president again, in that video, I said that he needs to be able to manifest by, instead of saying President 45, he needs to say President 47. Therefore, if he says President 47, he will manifest himself becoming the 47th president. However, when that video was made, Donald Trump kept calling himself, I'm the 45th president of the United States. I am the 45th. But since that video has gone out, about a couple of months later, Donald Trump started calling himself no longer the 45th president, basically conceding to Biden in a way, and it's now calling himself the 47th president of the United States, which technically means he is manifesting a comeback. So we're going to explore it in today's video, kind of see what that means. Another reason for this video as well, if you're not familiar with Marie's Table Tarot, definitely go check out her channel. She had her dream. I covered her dream about a year ago as well. She's talked about how, oh wow, I got big breath. Sorry. KFC. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, bad humor. But anyway, besides the point, she said many times that she had like this vision and that outcome. She saw that Nancy Pelosi said to her in her dream, visitation-wise, said Donald Trump can become president again. And we're going to explore it in today's video. So, without further ado, let's begin. So this video is being live streamed on March 15th. 2022 at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do apologize for the stutter. I am a little chaotic, but that's the best thing about life, right? Here's some quick disclaimers on your screen right now. If you want to listen or read them, pause the video if you would like to do that. We're just going to speed through. I do not want to waste your time. Now, please remember this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. This is not a prediction channel. I'm not making a prediction. I am giving you a potential reality and multiverse reality that we can soon enter into. Not saying it's going to happen. Wow, I got big ears. Sorry. Anyway, let's begin. So here's the last minute disclaimers. Let's jump into the main part of today's video. So again, everything will be timestamped in the description below if you want to jump to certain parts of today's video. If you have questions, feel free to put them in a live chat or in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think Donald Trump is going to become president or not? And we will be doing an evaluation on Marie's Table specific question as well. Oh, you said it's 11/11? Thank you, Katie. Love you. So let's take a look. When did that 11/11 come about? Oh, it is 11/11 now. Okay. Well, did not know that. Thank you. It is theoretically possible that Trump could become president again. Let's ask the question. Let's ask the cards. Is it theoretically possible that Trump could become president of the United States again? And by that, I mean the 47th president. And I had covered extensively why he will be considered the 47th president, not the 45th. That is because of Grover Cleveland. I highly recommend you check out why Grover Cleveland and Donald Trump are very closely tied in terms of historical perspectives. Okay. If you have not known, Grover Cleveland is was a a Democrat, actually, a president who won his first election, lost the second one, then won the third election. So he almost lost re-election the first time, but won the second time. Kind of similar to the way that Donald Trump may become president this way, right? Hi, Highway 138. We have the Queen of Swords here. And the Queen of Swords here kind of talking about Nancy Pelosi. And Nancy Pelosi card normally comes up. This is the Biden and Harris administration. In order for this outcome to become a fruition, become a reality, he needs to remove the obstacle. And the obstacle is Kamala Harris and Biden. That's the obstacle here. Now, if he was to theoretically run just to become president again on the re-election, he will not win if it was Biden and Harris. However, if Biden and Harris somehow, in some way, are removed, and by that I mean removed, there's a possibility that he can become president just by unnatural circumstances. Now, I'm saying that, unnatural circumstances, like, foreign interference, foreign meddling, those type of things. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to more just natural. It's the way the country's voting without any sort of influences of any kind, right? No puppeteering, right? We have the reverse side of stories. And the reverse side of stories is kind of telling me here that in order for this outcome to happen, naturally speaking, the Democratic Party will have to give up everything. As you all know, the Democrats, they're going to have to give a good fight, but I don't think they're willing to give up. I don't think they're going to have to concede. And by concede, I don't mean like they basically forfeit before the election even happened, right? I don't see that outcome here. However, that's one outcome where in this reality here, if things were natural, the Democrats would probably be doing so poorly that Trump will just automatically become president without an election. I don't see that here, but this is the outcome. So we'll just read it on a multiverse here, okay? We have here the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is the powerhouse, the government. In order for that to happen, Biden and Kamala Harris cannot be a part of the governmental power, maybe the established Democrats potentially. And we have here, they're going to have to put up a fight. So regardless of what it is, the Democrats here are not going to forfeit the election to Trump. Potentially, what there could be very well hinting at is that Donald Trump is trying to seize power by forcing the Democratic Party to give up theirs. It could very well end up like a coup. This could be what the card is referring to. That is it possible that Trump could become president again? Maybe not, might not hinting at an election, but might be very well hinting at a coup. And I mean that very literal sense. To think about it here, right? We had the forfeit card. The Democratic Party do not want to forfeit. But somehow, in some way, in order for him to become president, Kamala Harris and Biden need to be removed. Right? That would create a vacant hole. In that case, it will be filled by the fighting party. Right? And in this case, it's very well possible this could be a coup. Is this a coup? Yes. Okay. The devil card comes up. So yeah, it's likely in this outcome, if one of these outcomes, he will have to do a coup. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not responsible for anything in this video here. I am not pushing for any sort of narrative, YouTube, and I'm just exploring the multiverse here. Potential outcomes only. Okay, let's see. Hello, Antonia. How are you, love? Yes. Okay, so speaking of that, I do want to hint on that before. Okay, so you may have remembered if you were with me a long time ago, I have said a while back that I kept seeing a young woman, a Democrat, right? A young Democrat coming through who is almost like in some way is tied to Russia. We thought this was Tulsi Gabbard. Could very well be her. She gives the energy of a lesbian. This person, the lesbian type energy, very progressive. But the person is really not progressive. They just give off energy and tell people that they're progressive. So they win the parts and stole of the Democratic Party. And what I ended up seeing that kind of like almost like it's a mirror image. So the Republican Party is a lot easier to take control of. But when it comes to the Democratic Party, you kind of have to put up an image, a fake image, a facade. And so in that case, what I saw was this person going to look like a lesbian, have masculine energy, more masculine energy than feminine, but is a woman indeed. Or it could be trans, by the way. That's possible as well. So it will appear like that person, and it's a woman, by the way, it almost feels like in some way, in some form, people will not believe their eyes or ever suspect her of being a spy or some sort of criminal and be worse than Trump. But this individual, what I saw, would be 10 times worse than Trump or will make Trump look like a cakewalk. Is it theoretically possible that Trump could just beat a woman? Could be very well that a woman is just a reimagined version of him because he's more masculine, but takes on the feminine side. Because you think about it, Trump takes estrogen. He had long hair. He has long hair. That's estrogen, right? Very well be that Donald Trump could just very well be that individual. Well, he may appear at some point progressive, but he's really not, if that makes any sense. And then he wants power and control very similar to that woman. So I wanted to bring that there. That he could very well end up worse than what he was the last time. Maybe that was the cakewalk. The first 4 years, maybe the next 4 years will be 10 times worse for him. Right? I think the more energy we give Trump, the more he can accomplish. I hope he's just gone so he's no longer a problem. Yes, I agree with you. The more energy that we put into it, yes. I also do feel as well, if you call him 45 and not 47, he will not be the 47 president. Like that as well. So that's always a possibility. And it was 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. 11 people in the group chat. It was also, when I said that, it was live and it was 11, 11, 11. And it was 11, 11 in this video. So yeah, that is a possibility. To say 45th, to call him 45th, it'll be fine. Okay. Is it possible that Trump could be reelected again? We're going to act the card. Let's see. Yes or no, there's one card. Is it possible Trump could be reelected? Again, if you just want to jump to certain parts of this video, everything will be timestamped below. Could it be possible Trump could be reelected again, Spirits and Angels? Yes. Yes. His opponent will be a woman. Yes. Could Trump win re-election again? Without a coup, without attempting a coup again, right, which is why we have the 5 of Wands here reversed, an upright emperor, he will be president in this outcome here. We have here, he will not lose in this outcome. However, his candidate, the opponent that he runs against is going to be a woman, but also a male. So potentially it could be a gay male. Could be a gay male. So maybe like Pete Buttigieg. Could be very well like that. And it's a reverse victory, which means that the Democrats here who may win the popular vote but lose the Electoral College again. I do see that outcome here. It's just a part of my dream in any way. Okay, the card did not flip. It went flip back up. It's in any way part of my dream. We have another woman reverse. It might be 2 young gay males running together. I don't know why. It could also be a woman, but I don't know. It doesn't tell me, but they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose by 5%. So maybe they're gonna probably lose, but it could be by 5 electoral votes. It could be a very close election. It could be by 265 to 275. It'll be very close election. It could go either way. Maybe one state will be the one that decides who becomes president or not. It'll be very close though. Okay. Again, this is just possible outcomes. We're exploring it. Because in this case, it'll be 47, not anything else. Okay. Could it be that he becomes president through the presidential line of succession, aka Speaker of the House? Now, if you're not familiar, the Republicans have already announced a plan to put Donald Trump as Speaker of the House. Now, if you're not familiar, when the line of succession puts what's it called? Actually, it used to be the original line of succession. What used to be in 1960, it used to be the president, the vice president. Well, actually, no, it used to be the president, the cabinet, then the vice president. Now it's the president, the vice president, the Speaker of the House, the pro tempore, which is the president of the Senate, and then it goes down from there. It goes to the cabinets and different agriculture of the cabinet. That's the line of succession. In this case, we're asking the second line of succession, which is the Speaker of the House. But in order for him to become president, he needs to remove 2 obstacles: Biden and Kamala. That's the 2 obstacles. If he's able to remove those 2, he will become the next president in line. That's why, in essence, necessarily Donald Trump does not need to be a representative. Actually, that's false. Donald Trump needs to become a representative within his own district And if he wins, he very well could be nominated by the Republican Party to put him as Speaker of the House. Wasn't then say that why I got a couple months back, I saw that Biden could potentially be impeached by the Republican. Obviously, he'll be acquitted, but he could be impeached. And in this case, it would be forced by a Republican House majority. So let's take a look. Could it be that Trump could become president through the presidential line of succession, aka Speaker of the House? No, I feel like the story is still continuing. Yes, he could. This is a very strong possibility here. All right, this is the continuation story. So we have here the Hanged Man here, right? Attempted kill, right? He lost re-election in 2020. This is why the card is reversed. We took the incumbent, we hung him upside down, he lost the election, right? We have here the election was close though. It was a very decisive one, but it was also a very vicious one that divided the country in half. There's also come to mind as well Pluto return, Mars, Pluto, Saturn, Mercury. Those are all planets and zodiac signs that have not been a part of America's birth chart since its founding, which means that America is trying to find this new identity, right? Is it Trump or is it Biden, right? We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Wands. I apologize if I miscounted this. But what I'm seeing here for this 8 of Wands here, I am seeing that people will throw a hand. Now, if you're not familiar with the terminology here, as young people will say, throwing hands kind of means like putting up a fight, so to speak. And that's what I'm seeing here, that something's being put up a fight. Now, this is telling a storyline here. Putting up a fight. And we have the Page of Cups. Never giving up. Never giving up the possibility of becoming president, right? In this case, oh, actually, I know what the cut is. Put up a fight here, so potentially that could be a literal fight going on, right? Because of the divisiveness of the country. This could be a coup here again. We have here a Page of Cups. Biden is down. Biden is down, which is why the Page of Swords Cups is reversed. But this is oftentimes the Democrat card. We have here as well, we have the Queen of Swords. The next person in line is Kamala Harris, which is why she has the crown, so she's the next in line for the succession of the presidency. Right? However, Donald Trump is going to try to force her to give up her power. Kamala Harris. Now, this is one outcome. Not saying it's going to happen, but this is one outcome. Donald Trump forces her to give up her power by moving the control of power, by using something here that, oh, I know what this is, the Supreme Court. He somehow convinces the Supreme Court to remove her or to ignore her executive powers or make it invalid. Potentially, you may do something that had never done before, basically, or try to influence the Supreme Court. We have here the Biden and Kamala Harris leave their posts. Potentially, that could be physical, but that could just be metaphysical. But then we have here divine timing. Divine time is spiritual, right? Spiritual thing. This is a spiritual war. This is what we're going through. This is a spiritual thing. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. There's a spiritual war that we're going on, right? We have here as well, we have the Fool card. He has rising support. Potentially, it's very theoretically possible that Trump is more popular than Biden. It's very possible. Now, I don't mean in terms of popular. I'm not saying that Biden is popular among Democrats. I'm not saying that. But it's theoretically possible that Trump could be more popular in terms of gaining more independent or people who have never voted in any election before. It's theoretically possible that he could be gaining more voters. Very similar to the way where we thought he was going to lose voters in 2020. He actually gained voters. He gained about what? Almost like 15 million. It's theoretically possible that he can gain more than 15 million, right? Very possible. And then we have the Judgment card. He will not be elected president in this case. So in this case, Trump will not be elected president, which would then in turn mean that Donald Trump does not need to run for re-election because he's already president, so he doesn't need to run, if that makes any sense. So is it theoretically possible Trump could become the Speaker of the House? Yes. But he hasn't announced, and I don't know if someone can correct me, he has not announced that he plans to run as a representative. So until that happens, it's not possible. So you do not need to worry. However, let's act the cards here. Right, you'll have my Trump card in here. We have Biden card, okay? This will tell us a more deeper story. Spirit sayings will tell me. Will President Biden or President Trump, who will be the 47th president? Will it be Kamala Harris or will it be President Trump? Okay, whoever comes up first will be president. If they're reversed, it means skip them. If it's upright, that means they're president. Okay. Turn the deck around I heard. I want to keep going. Let's see. Okay. I made this deck, by the way, if you're interested. Okay. Let's see. I want to keep going. That's not Kamala Harris. Or it is, but not in that case. No. Okay. Let's see if it's Trump. Let's see if it's Trump. We don't have Trump yet. We don't have Kamala. We don't have Biden here. It could just be Biden coming up here. And that just means that he's an incumbent. Okay. Let's see. Who do you think is going to be president? Who do you think is going to be the 47th president? Okay, let's see. Oh, we have QAnon conspiracies. I forget what I make sometimes. Okay. Why is this taking forever? Okay. All right, so here's what we have here. Look, we have Vice President. Like Kamala Harris, she's reversed. Remember how I said if they're reversed, we skip it? We have President Biden here. So this possibility could be that President Biden is still president by the time he wins re-election, or it's theoretically possible that the 47th president is not Kamala Harris. Want to go with that one, but I just wanted to let you know that just in case that it's possible that Biden could just win re-election and it's fine. But let's just, for theoretically purposes, who will be the 47th? Can't be Biden. Let's see. So we know it's not, it's Trump. Yes, okay, because Trump is upright, Kamala Harris was reversed. If the 47th president, it will be Trump, not Kamala. But in that case, it will probably be an election, a rematch between Biden and Trump again, than Kamala Harris versus Trump. I don't see anyone being president. Okay, why do you think that, Katie? I'm interested to see why you say that. Is it because, like, you know how they created a book called Trump the Last President, and it was in the 1900s? So it make a lot of sense why you say that. So just tell me why you say that. I'm curious to see why you say you don't see anyone being president. Maybe I did say a long time ago, if you have not recalled me, I did say that it's theoretically possible that Biden is the last president, or that Trump is, but the presidency is reformed and potentially it's removed. So potentially we may have a prime minister, we may have a parliament instead of Congress. It's very possible we just have a dictatorship. But whatever it is, the presidency won't be here for long. That's what I always get in the cards. But at least we know in terms of the deck that I made, most likely it's going to be Trump. Hey, could it be possible that Trump could be vice president and plan a redrum on the newly elected president? Now, if you don't know what redrum is, or you're not familiar with The Shining, I highly recommend you look up what redrum means. It basically means a word that I cannot say on YouTube, so I'm just using that as reference. Or if you don't know, you don't want to look it up online, just flip the redrum word and you'll see it. Yeah, so you feel that. Okay, so she feels that'll be like a prime minister parliament type change. I just see that there. And it makes sense because you have checked America's birth chart and it was confirmation. I don't read birth charts, but if you have read birth charts, most birth charts, because I always get further confirmation on my reading just to make sure I'm giving you guys accurate information. It does say in there that it's theoretically possible that in America's change, I just see America will become more democratic than it already is, but we will have a better system that will be more prime minister and parliament than electoral. So more than anything else, electoral college will end up being removed and will be placed very similar to the Canadian Australian one. So if you want to like know about that whole fun fact. Okay, could it be possible that Trump could be vice president and plan to redrum on a newly elected president? Now, if you have not watched Designated Survivor, this is kind of where the question comes through. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. Was it possible Trump could be vice president and plan to redrum the newly elected president? No, I don't see that here now. No, he could be president somewhere else in another country, but not here. No, he would not do this. He can do it to another country, but not here. Here's why I say this. Many countries, if you not know this, many countries around the globe does not require that the president be born in the United States. Theoretically possible that if Trump wanted to be president of France, he can become president of France. So it's possible that Trump may not be president of the United States, but he could be president or prime minister of another country. Right? Now that would be very dangerous because again, we don't know the laws, and he could be having some sort of vendetta against the United States. So we have the Nine of Cups reverse, the Lovers card reverse. No. Will Trump be vice president? No. So you can be rest assured that's not possible. What we have the Ace of Pentacles here. This is the unlikeliest outcome. Out of all the outcomes that we covered today, this is the unlikeliest. We have the Ace of Pentacles reverse here. No. They wouldn't even consider him. He's like tactic. They believe that if they add him onto the ticket, it's gonna make them feel as if they're connected to whatever Trump is connected. Right? We have the Empress card. Right? The Empress card kind of talks about, again, Russia. That is the foreign card here. The foreign card is whatever Trump is tied to, it might be foreign, so a foreign country. We have the Star card. No, they would not want him as president because they know he has a quench for power. So no. And in the end, they know that they will lose if he was on the ticket. No, they will not put him on the vice presidency ticket. As for your comment here, you said you want to send this guy to light. How about instead of sending him to light, why don't you send him love and light? Because remember, Trump, in the end, is a very traumatized kid. He is a child who had not been felt and was loved properly. Right? So all you gotta do is just send him love and light, and that's all that you need to do. Right? In the end, he is a very traumatized individual, right? So just be kind, because you never know what other people are going through. And I'm not saying that, you have to love Trump. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying here is that in the end, he is like us. We are traumatized children, except the difference is he's not healed. He hasn't even begun the process of healing. He is a very hurt child who was not able to be loved and was able to communicate with his mother. If you have not listened to watch the story, when he was born a very young child, he was not able to see his mother, and because of that, his father was very vicious and very strict. So if you really come from that background and household, he normally has, and I'm not surprised, not a serial killer, but he is, in essence, just not physical. He might be Charles Manson in this way. So maybe instead we just send him love and light and healing so that he can heal his inner childhood trauma, right? You got this, right? Childhood trauma, right? Healing that. Maybe potentially instead sending some light to childhood trauma so that it doesn't it shows to other people that, you can heal it. Because, Trump doesn't know how to heal. He only knows how to spread his fear. And that is because he was fearful as a child. So that's my take on it. And I don't want you to hate me or anything like that, but that is what I would say. I would suggest to send him love and light. That's how hard can it be, right? Don't give him your energy. Let's send him love and light. Just as anybody else would. You will want them to be the best that they can be. And the best you can do is send him love and light. He's nothing more than just an individual. He's us. So he's a manifestation of our lack and inability to understand mental health. Right? We understand mental health now than we did back then during this time. So maybe potentially because of neglect that society had frowned upon, the idea of mental health could be the manifestation of Trump. Right? So instead of looking down upon somebody with mental health issues, just send them love and light and hope that, one day they can experience healing. Right? The last thing that we're going to cover in today's video Are there any possibilities that he can become president? That's the last question for today's video. Let's take a look. Is there any other possibilities for Trump to become president of the United States? No. So that's a kill. No, he would just have to do a kill. That's really what it is. The only other possibility here is just telling me a kill. Because we have the high priestess reverse doing the negative part, right? We have the ace of swords here, getting what he wants, trying to dethrone the person in power, which will be Biden in this case. With the reverse Knight of Pentacles, he will have to somehow do this without money. So potentially this is war, potentially secession, maybe become president of another country, which might mean that, maybe potentially Texas, just for example, breaks off and becomes its own country. He could become president of Texas, if that makes any sense. That could be why I talked about a foreign country. We have here, we have the strength card here. As long as his supporters are loyal to him specifically, he can do whatever he wants. And we have here, however, he will have a very hard time winning any election if he was to win again. But it's not to count out how many voters he gained, if that makes sense. And it does also not include how much interference there will be in any sort of election or influence at all. So again, I hope you do like today's video. Just again, if you don't want to manifest Trump at 47, just call him 45. It has the same power as keeping him down and no longer your president, so you don't have to worry. But I will say for the future, though, of the United States is very bright in terms of our democracy. However, the United States, as we know, it coming to an end, but a new one will begin. And by that, I think you could be very happy and very certain that a new America, a new era that we're entering into, a new governmental system that works for the people. So you can rest assured that it will become more of a democratic process. When I read on whether or not it would become fascist or not, it had kind of like gave me a kind of no. It kind of felt like one of those big changes that's happening in America, that America kind of already was an authoritarian, fascist type power, just a very mild version of it. However, America is going to become more democratic, which means that your vote will matter a lot more in the future, and that you may have a new governmental system. Potentially, you may get rid of the Supreme Court, install a parliament, and a prime minister instead. So there are theoretically possible outcomes here that we can experience. All right, guys, I love you. I hope you have a very beautiful night. I'm going to read some of your comments here before we leave. I am still sure neither Putin or Trump will be around in 2024. Real sure. Yes, I have seen that many times. I have seen that there was an outcome. I talking to one of my friends who was Russian a long time ago, and I said, by the way, he did not like Putin. And I said, yeah, your leader, Putin is not going to be president for long. He's going to be replaced by a young male. And actually, it came up in the cards when I was reading on it. So, and that was a year ago too. And I do feel like he will end up being assassinated himself. So there's possible outcomes here. Again, like I said, around 2024, it potentially could pass away in 2024. Again, it just really depends on what happened to them energetically. Again, nothing is set in stone. This is not a prediction. There's the potential outcome that could be opened up in terms of the portal. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I love you. I hope you have a very beautiful night. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. I'm not trying to push forth the narrative that Trump's going to be president. I'm just exploring the possibility and getting myself mentally ready and prepared for the possibility to manifest itself. But you can stop it by just saying 45 and not 47. All right, guys, so that is hope. I love you. Have a very beautiful night, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to see if I can get my friend. We're probably going to talk about the East Coast tsunami. She had that dream too as me, but she had it a year after I did. So we're going to talk about that and kind of explore why we got it. And it came up in my tarot reading a long time ago. And we're going to kind of like do a little just on that as well. Anyway, guys, I love you. Have a very beautiful night. Bye.